Hey people, I just wanted to make this random little video because I don't know. I was coming out here to make a video and then I ended up thinking about a ton of different things that I wasn't even thinking about before I came out here. Kind of the story of my life. Or, well, actually, it's like, it is related. It's like all related. Life is wild and I've been hearing more about, how everything's not a coincidence and all that stuff. Well, I feel like my life has been made up of a bunch of coincidences, but now I'm learning that nothing's a coincidence, and it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of wild how life is sometimes. But anyways, so here, I had no idea when I picked these two up that they would be able to, like, this little one would be able to entangle itself around the other one, right? But I just was thinking, like, that's how it's been with me with grief, right? That's how it's been with me with, you know, mainly grief, really. And I didn't really notice it at all. Um, I didn't know that, like, any of this stuff really until or I did. I don't know. Like, it's kind of hard to remember what I knew before because it's just like I feel like I know everything I know now is like it's all one. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I don't know. Grief, grief, and everything that's like wrapped itself around my joy and my like peace. And I feel like that's how it is for everybody else out there, right? Well, you can't have this though without this. And sometimes this grief helps you to definitely appreciate this more, your joy, your happiness, everything, but you can't have it without each other. And it's always there, but it's always there to remind you that this, what's underneath of it, is important and it means a lot to you. And even if it hurts, don't let, you know, your grief, snuff the light out of your joy, but let it be there to remind you that you do have something within you that is so bright and beautiful and is there to help other people, whether it be your story, whether it be, your grief, the stuff that you've been through, or in just you as a person, you know, it's hard sometimes because, there are a lot of many names to this. This is attached to so many different parts of you. But just know that your joy, your happiness, you singing, you dancing, you laughing, playing games, video games, movies, everything that you love and enjoy about yourself, just know that it's all still there. Even if it takes you some time to get there, just know that it's always going to be there. And even if you have to acknowledge this stuff, though, to get there because you forgot what that's like, one thing that, you know, I feel like I'm at this point with myself is like with forgiving myself for this, because this, it used to be like switched, because like I was so, this consumed me, but it was love that helped me to realize that, you know, oh, love helped me realize a lot of things, but um, learned that, my joy and my happiness was more, and that my grief and everything bad that I ever felt about myself, everything that ever caused me any pain, anything like that, it was big, and it was important, but it's more so like recognizing that and all the stuff I've been through and being like, I went through that, I made it through that, and like, I made it through that, acknowledging what you've been through and the person you had to become to be a person who made it through that and had to deal with that, and knowing that even at the end of that, you know, you're still loved and cared about no matter what, and you deserve to be happy and to have peace in your life regardless of what you've been through. You deserve to heal, and then acknowledging that and not, kind of, turning this grief off, you know, because it's always going to be there, but it's like it doesn't consume me anymore. I might still cry. I might still, you know, howl like a. It's raining, bro. There's no rain clouds above me. It's so crazy. Um, yeah. So yeah, like there's like howling like a dog, like a wolf when the moon is out. You know, fool. You know, it's like that. It's like that. You know, it's howling and pain is like a lot. It's a lot to deal with, but it's crazy being able to be on this plane of existence now where I don't feel like all the different sides of me are torn apart. I feel like I was in the middle of everything and I was like I've learned so much more about what real love is, and I just I don't want to cause any pain. And I also want to be truthful with who I am and live authentically, and this is who I am. And you know, just gotta be who you are, but then also understand that like being you who you are may cause pain to other people, or at least that's how you feel. So, but I feel like the people that love and care about you, they'll know who you are and what you've been through too, and they'll love you and hold space for you to be who you are, but also recognize that you know everybody's on their own journey, everybody's on their own healing journey too, and I hope that at the end of all of this, that we're able to find peace with who we are and be in that middle place where it's like, okay, I've got all these things that I've done, all these things that I wish I would have done, regrets, all those things. Here I am, me, now, everything I want to be, and I'm like where I'm supposed to be. And you just gotta have fun too. You gotta have some fun in your life. You gotta do something that you're passionate about, something that brings you joy, and also just share some love and kindness out there and put more love in the world. um, I made this video on here. I actually posted 2 videos. I was incredibly scared when I posted that. If you go and watch even both of them, like the state I was in was a very, yeah, I was in a very dark place, let's say. And it's just kind of amazing though how you know sometimes you do get everything you ask for when you ask. Like I have, I did, um, but it wasn't in the way that I thought. You know what I mean? It was in a totally different, different place than what I thought. But I think but that thing then though it helped me to be able to open up and to be able to experience all this, right? So it's like I'm all here now. I'm all here now, and I just want nothing but love and everything for everybody else too, for real. Everything kind of just is now, you know, and I think that the work and everything that you put in to the world, like your voice, your like your voice, you working in the community, you working in around you, the people around you, the people you surround yourself with, and stuff like that. Like those are all your people, and you're influenced by them too. And it's really important to, I don't know, just be more like, how do I put it? This is something that I gotta work on, which I think is why I kind of isolate myself a lot. From people, depends. I don't isolate myself that much. It's more so like making peace with the fact that everybody is on their own journey and everybody's doing what they want to do and the way they gotta do what they gotta do, and so are you. And everything you do is because of you, and it's not because of other people. And you may get triggered, but that's because of, you know, valid stuff that's happened to you. But some people, the thing about grief and all of those things, my friends, is that stuff is tangled. It's tangled together. And some people are tangled up in your joy because you bring them so much joy. And it's also grief. And it's just about living with those two things simultaneously and making peace with them, and just knowing that, you know, you still deserve to be able to have joy in everything, even if you feel grief. But it also helps to recognize that stuff, because it's really, really, really easy to let that stuff completely consume you. Because it's not that you haven't done the work to move past the stuff you've been through. Of course you have, you know? But it's really just acknowledging, though, that when that stuff comes up and stuff like that, it's more so like making peace with it, because you have other things on top of that that shine through. And it's really easy to not care. Like, you get to a certain point where you don't care. And I think that that's the point in this stuff where it makes it really difficult, because it's like you feel like from speaking from my own personal experience, like, when you, from what I've been reading and stuff like that, like, genuinely never, like, this kind of stuff never even, like, I didn't even know what any of this stuff was, like, at all. And then I watched that video back, and then I was like, where on earth did I ever hear any of that stuff from? Because I genuinely, with my, like, my whole heart, I have no idea where I learned that stuff from. I don't know. But then I just started speaking it, and then it's like that shit, like, fucking happened. And so it's like, you know, it's just kind of crazy and wild and everything, like how, you know, you kind of randomly speak things into the universe and they happen. But also with all this stuff happening, it's like I feel like, okay, so I'm finally where I'm supposed to be. I don't have anything to do today. I'm just taking today to kind of be here for myself, with myself. Wanted to make this video. It's really raw and like, what's up, people? Oh shit, there's an ant. And it's like, oh boy. A lot of stuff is happening. But I just thought it was cool that I found these, and I just wanted to share my thoughts. And yeah, the whole thing about coincidences and stuff like that, I used to think it was. But now I'm hearing things about synchronicities and all these things and everything, and it's like, kind of overwhelms you a little bit, I will not lie. But I feel like with everything, it's really all the grieving and stuff like that. It's really opened me up to like the important stuff in my life that I like. I mean, it's always been important. I just feel like I'm more here with it. And I need to not get so mad. That's another thing. I need to really let go of me. I believe I am, you know. But it's more so like letting go of the things, letting go of me helping people, letting go of me thinking that I've gotta like, but it's like it all comes from a good place because I know what it's like because I've been there. You know what I mean? And I think that that's the thing that like is driving me, you know, through this. It's like I know what it's like to go through shit, but I also recognize that even though I know what it's like to go through shit, my stuff that I went through to get through my shit, that's not how people go through their shit with, like, you know what I mean? So it's like you gotta hold space for other people and yourself. And I believe that when you're able to hold space for yourself, you're able to hold space for other people. Or, you know, you held space for yourself. So you understand what it's like to hold space for people, but it's like your stuff is a lot to carry. And so it's like letting go of a lot of the stuff you're holding on to make space for you to hold on to other people. Because we'll hold many hands, but many hands won't hold us. But that's why you've got two hands, you know? You've got two hands. And even though, you know, grief is always going to be there, but, you know, it'll wake you up for what's underneath. You know, especially if you've been consumed by this. And I feel like that's what's happened to me because for so long I was living in a world where I wasn't able to actually be able to like express the deep grief that like something caused me, like genuinely, because it was the literally woke me up to everything that like I ever believed that like love was and that like love could ever be, and even more like it actually like love and everything that whole entire thing gave me and allowed for like the child in me to be loved and like every part of me to be loved, everything, like literally from the whole thing of like this moment was the thing that made me have the courage to get through from when I was born until now. You get what I mean? Like something incredibly important happened to me, but when it did happen, I was so fucking scared, and all of my worst thoughts, and you know, me feeling like I was never gonna be enough, and you know, just all these things. Like I really believe those things, but I didn't know how to talk about them besides like dysphoria and stuff. Um, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? Yeah, so it like made it hard for me to. So I lied. I lied. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. I lied. I um, hated myself so much that I lied, and um, it hurt somebody that I really love, and so many things happened that I couldn't help but to feel super, super, super guilty of, um, because I was, and I know it wasn't my fault, but I also recognize that like how bad that was, you know. I recognized how bad it was, and just yeah, all these things were happening that was just like unbelievable that I just couldn't like I didn't know how to live with myself. So then I attempted. I was very protective of this whole thing. I watched that video, and I don't like to name names anymore. I don't like to, because this thing was buried so deep, and it's like all you want to do is protect it, you know what I mean? Because it's like how, like, and there was so much love behind it, like I didn't, like, when that all happened, it just really, like, yeah. But I feel like I'm out now. It's like I'm out now. I'm just like, damn, you know? Yeah, it's kind of, when you dig deep and stuff like that, you find shit that you didn't ever expect that you'd ever see. But the thing is about it is that when somebody has gone through the stuff themselves for themselves, you're able to have so much love and compassion for other people who have done the work or who have been through other things too, even if they haven't done the work. It's like you fucking get it. It's like, I fucking get it. Like, you're tired today, or you're healing, like, not doing okay for whatever reason, the stuff you don't talk about. I fucking get it. And it's like, there's just all these things, right? I don't want to be such a pessimist, you know? I don't want to be. But I think that by knowing a lot about what it's like to have bad things, I feel like things go wrong in your life, I feel like, you know, as somebody who used to believe that bad things are bound to happen to you in life, you know, they're not. They're not bound to happen to you. Bad things happen to you, and that's not your fault, you know. They're not your fault for bad things happening. To a certain extent, like, especially when you're little. And I just feel like it's really important for you to just know that your grief and your joy may be, you know, interwoven, stuff like that, forever. But on those days where your grief, you know, starts to consume your joy, just know that you are a light. You are a conduit of light and of love to be able to spread that out to people and to yourself. That even though all the bad things that you consider bad in your life and everything you've done and stuff like that, I mean, I feel like one of the best things that you can at least do is just to be aware of it. Because once you're aware of it, then it's like, you're like, oh, I was that way and I treated that person that way. And like, maybe they deserved it. Or maybe that person over there, they didn't deserve it. It's about, like, just being mindful and actually giving a fuck about how you treat people, and how you treat other people is a reflection of you, and also a reaction to how you feel about, like, that person or what that person brings up in you. Because your triggers are really important too, because they bring up things in you that are there for, it's interesting, like, too, like, even when it's like people that you know and love and care about, it's like, and they know what you've been through and stuff like that, they could bring up something in you that you didn't even think about until, like, a relationship, or uh, like your family or something, you know. So it's just really interesting how that's all connected, and just how important it is to just create a space where you're able to talk about this shit and, like, sit with, like, all the stuff that, you know, everything, and have compassion, forgive yourself. But also, for me too, with that, like, I've been really, really learning a lot about how forgiveness is more so for yourself, obviously. Like, I feel like I kind of knew that. Yes, you forgive them for you. But I feel like in a way, I needed forgiveness for that. I needed forgiveness for what I did. Not to put it on somebody else, but just to really, to be honest, like, fuck. Yeah, to be honest about how I felt, what was going on, and how I never, ever, 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 ever meant for me lying because I hated myself so much. I never meant for me lying about that to bring on so much fucking pain because it was entangled. It was intertwined with everything good that became of me. That's become of me. That I'm becoming. The person that I am today, that I'm showing up as. My true self, who I am, who I've always been, but, felt like I didn't belong here and I didn't deserve to be here. That stuff is all wrapped up in my good. But without that dark part, in me facing that shit, and putting to death that ego in that person that thought that it was okay to do that. But I knew that it wasn't, and I prayed for the strength. You have no idea. You have no idea. All the shit that I've been through with this. And I feel like it's easy to, like, I don't know. It's easy, obviously, for people to watch videos and stuff like that. But it's like, for you to actually been part of everything. I mean, but I think that that's why we're on our own journeys, right? Like, with this stuff, to figure out, who we are. What do we want to do? What's our destiny? Like, why am I here? Why did I do that? Like, obviously you don't have to fucking know. And you don't have to fucking care. And I think that it's pretty amazing, like, to be here. It has its moments. I make peace with the fact that even though my old self did all those things, because I thought that what I was doing was the right thing to do, I'm like very like here, and I'll hold myself accountable. If I do something wrong, I'll hold myself accountable for what I've done. If it's just taught me so much shit, and it's like stuff I already knew. Like, a lot of it is, it just took me so fucking long to finally talk about it, that I think that that's the thing that really made this like such a dramatic change and stuff like that, because it was something that was literally like the happiest I'd ever been, and then the worst I'd ever been in my life, because I just didn't know how to talk about what I went through. I didn't know how to talk about it. Because I didn't want to bring anybody down. But it's like, but it hurt me to not talk about it. But it was like so buried deep. It was so deep. Like, but I think that's the thing about regrets. I think that's the thing about the things you don't say. Those things eat you up the most. Those are the things that stick with you, because of course you think about them and stuff over the years. And with what I've learned about regret is that regrets follow you to the grave, and I don't regret it. The only thing I regret at all is absolutely that I lied. I wish I never lied. I wish I was honest about who I was and everything from the beginning. And so that's where this comes in. That's why I'm writing that book. That's why I'm doing these videos. That's why I'm doing any of this stuff. Is because I want to have some happiness in my life. I want to allow myself to have happiness and not just feel like I don't deserve it. Because it's grief. Like, I couldn't be happy. I couldn't sing. I couldn't dance. I couldn't get out of bed and like feel like I deserve to be here for a long time. For a long time. But I'm at this like really different place in my life now where it's like that's not who you are anymore, bro. You got stuff to do. You got stuff to do, bro. You can do it. Don't give up. You can do it. See? See, even eventually it just gets along and just goes with the flow a lot easier. It's always gonna be there, but you just gotta be able to remember that you can't have this joy without this grief. It's always gonna be there, but you know, this matters so much because of this. And for something to impact me so much that it made me into the person that I am today, I honor it and who I had to become to get through that stuff, to be able to have this joy, this love that I am capable of giving and to receive and everything. And it's like I wouldn't have that without this. And it's always going to be there, but it means a lot to me, and just got to make peace with it that way. Yep. It's not something you can think yourself through or, rush. Because I wanted to rush that stuff so bad, but it took me grief. It's like something happens, and it's like you feel like you're going okay, and then it's like something happens and flips your world upside down. I hope that was like the biggest thing, because I think, like for me at least, I think it was, because it really, like, I didn't think about it. I admit. I didn't think about it until after I said everything. And then it's like I said it, and it's like, hey. You get this opportunity again? You just gotta be truthful, because you know it means a lot to you, and that you gotta be real. But, I was just really, like, when I think about it, and how I didn't have to tell her all that stuff, I admit there have been some moments where I've thought about it, where I wish I didn't tell her, because I wish that I knew, like, that there was somebody else. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if I would have known that there was somebody else, then I would have gotten, like, my hopes up so much, and I would have probably felt okay with lying to her, or just never saying anything. But at the same time, it's like, that was like always in my heart though. Like all I ever like genuinely deep down, stuff like that. Like, that love was always there. It never went away. And it only grew. And it grew in like a way that like was different. But then like when that happened, it kind of like embarrassingly like made me act a fool to say the least, and just kind of make an ass of myself. And yeah, just not handle that as well as I wish that I would have, um, at all, because yeah. You know, damn, it sucks hurting people that you love and care about, doing it unconsciously and consciously. It sucks hurting people, period. It doesn't make you feel good, and it shouldn't make you feel good if you make people feel bad, especially if you're malicious. And yeah, so hopefully you learned something from this. Hopefully you learned that it's better to be honest, obviously upfront with you, yourself, your intentions, who you are, everything like that. People are gonna love you for who you truly are. You just gotta be who you are, truly are, with them, and not like put on like a mask of like, or be somebody that you think they want you to be, because people are gonna figure out who you truly are. But you gotta understand that being who you truly are for you is so enough, and like so lovable, and just everything, not even just for other people but for like yourself and just this world. Like, the world's very capable of holding you in it because you matter, and you need to take up all the space you can because you do matter, and this world's for you too. And yeah, yeah, just thanks for watching this and stuff, and I hope that wherever you go, whatever you're doing on this, wherever you are and stuff like that, I hope that you know that even if it's not sunny where you're at, it's sunny somewhere. And I hope that you know that you also have sunshine in your heart, and that you're lovable, and that, you know, you deserve to be here, and you deserve to have good things in your life while you are still here. You deserve to be able to have joy. You deserve to be able to have fun. You deserve to be able to have music to dance to, things to paint, dogs to hug and kiss, and cats, and any of your other animals that you may have. Um, you deserve to be able to have all that stuff that you want and stuff like that while you are here. You deserve to be able to have love while you're here, with yourself, with other people. You deserve to have friends that you go over to their house and you break bread with, and movies to watch and see. You gotta see that stuff while you're here. You still got stuff to see while you are here. And I know I do too. And I just hope that wherever life takes us, just that you know that I always think of Mac Miller whenever I say that, so I'm just like, no matter where life takes me, find with a smile. Bro, okay. I'm gonna go. I hope you all have a good one, and just know that you're loved and cared about, and thanks for watching, and much love to everybody out there, and yeah, just go spread love and kindness everywhere you go, and thank you. for holding space for me and love. And I hope that the whole thing about, I hope you took something from this that was helpful. Okay, peace. Peace out.